Welcome back. Today is day 2, and we are preparing for our most magnetic business year yet. Yesterday, we looked inward, we celebrated our wins, we learned the lessons from this year, from 2025. And today, we shift from reflection to alignment because the reality is, a magnetic business isn't just about what you do, it's about how your brand communicates who you are. So, we are doing a magnetic brand audit, and by the end of this session, I hope you'll know exactly what is aligned and what is outdated and what needs a refresh before 2026. Whoop, whoop. Are you ready for that? Okay, so first of all, why I want to talk a little bit about why doing this brand audit matters. Because most entrepreneurs think that their brand is fine because they have a logo and a website and they've had it for a few years and it's like, oh, it's good. But most likely your brand is evolving as you evolve, right? So it's very important to update your brand as well as you change, as you get better, as you evolve. So a magnetic brand communicates your energy, your expertise, and the transformation you provide without necessarily saying a word. So we are now working on a bridge between who you were and who you are becoming. So that's what a brand audit is. As you're evolving, we are going from like, okay, this is who I was. So this website that I've been using for years, that was who I was maybe a few years ago. But now that my brand evolved, I want to focus on who I'm becoming, right? And I want my website, I want my visuals to reflect that, right? Because we're not just making things look pretty. Even with a photo shoot, as a photographer, a brand photographer, the goal is to not just make things look pretty, right? But we are making them intentional, we are making them aligned, and we are making them magnetic. So we're going to start with our point number 1 today, which is going to be the visual identity, right? So that's what people see before they even meet you a lot of the times, especially with social media. Like things go fast. We are not, if we're meeting people in person, that's one thing. But a lot of my clients, a lot of people that I meet are also like online, right? So your visuals are the first thing people usually see, right, before they meet you. So your photos, your colors, your fonts, and the vibe will send a message. Everything, all these things are contributing to the message. So the question is that we need to ask ourselves is, does that message match who you are becoming? Right? So do your photos still represent your energy and personality? Does your website still feel like you, the you now and the future you, not the past you, right? When people see your content, do they recognize you? Is there any consistency there, right? Or are things outdated, mismatched, confusing? Like you say that you provide a certain service, but that's not what people see when they look at your visuals, right? So I've had people say, "Oh, I need to book a new brand photo shoot because my photos don't look like me anymore, or they look like the old version of me. That would be like a great reason for you to update your photos, right? Because you've grown, your brand evolved, right? So if your visuals are your past self, then you're staying behind, right? And then your audience is going to feel that disconnect because the offers that you're the services that you're offering will be one thing, but your visuals will be something different, will be an older version of you. So how does that work, right? So working on your visuals. So going back to the questions that I asked, go back to those questions and just like do a little audit. Does it feel like, go to your website, take a look at your website. Does it feel like you, right? Um, so that's the first thing we're going to work on with this audit and refresh. Then, after you do that, let's talk about the messaging, right? Your messaging is the heart of your brand, right? So, a magnetic brand will speak directly to the people who need you the most, all right? In a way that feels authentic and confident, right? So, that's the goal. We want uh, your brand messaging to be authentic and to be connecting with your ideal clients, right? With the people that you want to help, right? So, how do we know if our messaging is updated, right? And it's speaking to the right people? So, um, when you think about showing up either on your website, showing up in person, showing up on social media, is your message clear and easy to understand? It's like what you do, your offers, is that clear? Do people understand when you say, this is what I do? Is it clear for people what you do? And also, are you speaking to the right people, the right audience, right? The one that you actually want to attract. And this is very important because we all tend to try to please everyone, especially at the beginning of our businesses when when you start and you just want to like be the one that everybody picks, that everybody chooses. But ideally, you want to gain more clarity in like who your ideal client is, who your audience is, who you want to attract, because then you can really speak to those people. You're going to think of them, you're going to have that person in mind, and you're going to think of them. You're going to think of what problems they have that your business can solve, right? Because then you understand their pain points. You understand what they are going through, and you bring the solution to help them. And everything you talk about, every time you show up, you are communicating that, and they're like, oh yeah, that's me. She's talking to me. So you get to be the expert, the person that will help them with that very specific need they have, right? So it's really important to really know, and that's all about going back to your why and having clarity in that, because that's when you're like, okay, who do I want to attract, right? And does your content, be it like social media content, be, maybe it's your website copy, does it communicate that transformation that you offer? Right? Sometimes we get too focused on, I offer this, and that, but we forget about the transformation. And that's most of the time is what makes people want to work with you. It's the transformation. They're like, I have this problem and I want to not have this problem. I want to be better. So what is the transformation here? So me as a photographer, I don't sell just photo shoots. I sell you stepping into your power. You have the confidence, being proud of those photos and showing up as that person, as your higher self, as your best self, right? As your elevated and, the person who you want to become, right? So this is what I do with photography. It's about working on your self-image. So think about your business and what you offer. And then are you like, do you communicate that transformation so that people can buy from you, right? Or hire you? Um, does your voice sound confident or hesitant, right? So if you're hesitating, like maybe there's a lot that have to do with, like speaking up, speaking in public, and all this could be a little, some people are more, shy or introverts, but when you know your why, and that's what I really wanted to focus, when you know your why and you know the difference you make in people's lives, that is going to give you the confidence. And having confidence doesn't mean that you have to like be super extrovert. No, it's different. You can be confident in your own way. But when you talk about what you do and your offers, do you sound confident? Do you sound like the expert? Do you know what you're talking about? Right? So that's also important to do, right? Do people know what you do? Not only what you do, but why you do it, right? What is the main goal there? How you transform people's lives, right? So when we talk about messaging, it's not just words, it's clarity, it's leadership, it's your identity. So that's why messaging is really, 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 really important. So moving on now to point number three. So we talked about the visuals, we're talking about the message. And now we're going to move on to the client experience, right? And it like regardless if you do like services or products, let's think about the client experience because that's also a game changer there. That's what it's going to also make people keep coming back to you, right? Um, because if your brand is magnetic, it doesn't just attract clients, but it also keeps them, right? And you have no idea, like the happy dance I do when when I get repeat clients, when I get clients book shoots again, right? They do one photo shoot and after a year they're like, okay, I'm ready for the next, photo shoot because I want something that is more aligned with who I am right now. So they book another shoot with me and that's beautiful because they're coming back, right? So that's what you want. You want people to come back to you, right? Um, so loyalty, referrals, all these things, it builds this magnetic brand, right? Because you get all these things and then you don't really need to work that hard because we always think like, oh, to be successful we need to work hard and we need to hustle and all this, but it's not about that really. When you know your why, when your brand is aligned and you offer a beautiful client experience, they're going to tell their friends. They're going to come back to you when they need more of that. They're going to trust you to do to help them with that transformation or help them do whatever services you offer, right? So a few things that we need to work on when thinking of client experience, like when people book with you your services or they buy a product, is the process smooth and professional? Like, do you have a system in place? It's very important to have systems if you have a business. So do you have a system in place? Like, what is the first thing that happens when they contact you for the first time, when they hire you? What's the next step? Is it clear? Do they know what to expect? Right? Because it's really like if a client is booking a photo shoot with me, it's not about, okay, we'll do the shoot next week. No. And the first email they receive is the welcome email, and it has all the next steps, what's happening next, because that gives people like, oh, okay, I can relax. I'm hiring this person, and this person is the expert. they are telling me what I need to do next. So it feels, they feel better. They feel more confident and they can trust you, right? So giving them the, like having an easy and smooth like onboarding process and having your clients know what to expect, that's very important. And then and going back to 2025 to this year, like what can you do a little audit on like the things that went really well and the things that need improvement? Maybe you got feedback from a client. Say, hey, I thought this and this didn't really work. Or if you, for example, if after your welcome email or whatever you use, right? Let's say your system, you have a welcome email. I'm going to give my example. If after that email they ask certain questions, uh, maybe it's something that I can like, oh, maybe I should update my welcome email, right? And include those things that they are asking me, because then you're anticipating their problems, right? The things that they might need help with, so that you make it better, right? So it's really important to do this audit, to go like, oh, that was a little bit chaotic, or this part of the onboarding process was a bit unclear for a few clients, even if it's just one client, right? What, how can you do it better? How can you make this a better experience, right? And is there anything that needs to be simplified? Because sometimes we overdo it and then it's just too much. Is there anything that needs to be simplified, or is there anything that could be possibly automated for next year so you don't have to be physically like manually doing it, right? So when you have like a system with a refined client experience, you'll be saving time, you'll be saving energy and stress. Definitely, right? Because you're already like anticipating the questions and the problems. So you're giving solutions already, right? So it saves you time, it saves you energy and stress, and it elevates your brand, right? In the process, because you have that, even if it's just some email templates that whenever a client signs up, you send them this email. And like I know Gmail does it. You can save templates and just, reuse that same body for your new clients, right? So anything that can be automated, do it. Do it. Because it is going to save your time and energy, and your clients would appreciate that because it's going to be more consistent as well, right? Um, so these are the three main things we're talking about for today. And I know, and I really hope that you get to the workbook and you get those, answer those prompts and like really see what you can do, little or big. Like even if it's just a little bit, like I'm gonna change my bio in my on my social media, my Instagram bio. That doesn't align with who I am or what I offer anymore. So I'm going to change that and make sure that it aligns with who I am now or who I am becoming, right? Um, I I talked about this a little bit yesterday, but I do feel like this year my brand definitely evolved. And a lot of the things I gained a lot more clarity in like what I believe, what my values are, and who I want to become and where I'm going and the things that I wanted to achieve. And those like it got a lot more like clear. So I felt it was time to kind of adjust a few things on my website and social media, and to show that change, to show that growth, right? So yeah, I just felt that my brand has evolved into like a clearer mission and this deeper purpose, and I wanted my brand and my visuals and my messaging to really catch up, right? And show that. So, because of that, I was able to update my website copy a little bit. Not the whole thing. I didn't redo or rebrand, my whole website, but I changed the copy a little bit. Um, I got new photos this year as well. So it feels more like me, right? And having that alignment just feels just incredible, right? And your brand and the reminder that your brand should grow with you and not hold you back. So if you're growing, if you're evolving, if your brand is changing, you need to align that. You need the visuals and messaging to in the client experience to grow with you, right? So don't let it hold you back, right? So yeah, this is our day 2. So now we have a little bit of homework to do. And remember, this is a brand audit. You're not, it's not supposed to make you like start from zero and tear things apart, but it's more about, or maybe if you need to, do it. But it's meant to just elevate and refine and make sure your brand is aligned with the business you're creating or you're envisioning for the next year, right? For 2026. So, please, 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 if you have any questions, just, make sure you send me an email. If you're doing any of this work with your workbook, just feel free to like share in your stories on Instagram and tag me. I would love to see what you're doing. And if you have any questions, right? Tomorrow is where everything comes together, right? We are mapping out our magnetic 2026 plan. So you can step into the new year like focused, aligned, and unstoppable, right? So you don't want to miss it. Stay tuned for day number 3, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye.